Hello guys, LifeHackster here, and today we are going to review and test out TP-Link's Tapo's floodlight camera, the Tapo C720 or the TC55. I know Tapo has two model names for this, but it is the same camera. Also, Tapo sent this to me to be checked out, so thank you, Tapo. And you might want to stick till the end because there's a couple things that you need to know about this floodlight camera, especially on the installation. So keep on watching. This floodlight camera has 2800 lumens brightness, and it is definitely bright and lights up my backyard. And the brightness is adjustable, so that's good. These floodlights can be motion activated and can get triggered using the PIR motion sensor, which has a 270-degree detection range. Or just use the camera-based detection for the floodlight to only turn on when it detects smart events. The floodlights can also be scheduled to turn on like dusk to dawn if you want. But there's one feature that Tapo forgot to add, which I'll tell you later in the video. As to the camera, it records in 2K quality, 2560 by 1440 pixel resolution, up to 25 frames per second. This also has a 150-degree diagonal field of view. And because it is a floodlight camera, it records in full color at night with the floodlights on, or you can set it so the floodlights are off and it records in black and white infrared night vision. This is a Tapo, so no subscription needed. And it records to a microSD card inserted on the camera itself, up to a 512GB card, and can record motion events or 24/7. It has an optional cloud recording with subscription, and you also get rich notifications. But you don't have to have subscription to use all the other features of this floodlight cam, like smart AI detection. Person, pets, and vehicle detection and notifications are not behind a paywall. It is IP65 weather resistant and compatible with Google and Amazon Echo devices. Inside the box, you will get the floodlight camera itself, plastic built, and some of you will not really dig the design of this floodlight camera. We have the camera lens, light sensor, status light, mic, and PIR sensor here in the bottom. Camera is adjustable and also the oval floodlights. On the back, we have the two-prong connection here for power. And on the back of the camera is the speaker. On the side is a screwed-in cover that covers the microSD card slot and the reset switch. You can adjust the camera and the lights for a horizontal or ceiling or under the eaves install. You also get an extension wiring and metal junction box bracket, junction box screws, mounting screws here with screw covers, and another set of mounting screws. We have a mounting bracket which is plastic, and we do need to screw in the wiring here. Lastly, a quick start guide. As to installation, first turn off power to the area or to the junction box that you are planning to install this. That means turn off from the switch and also from the breaker box. You can install this horizontally or under the eaves, but I'll demo here a wall or vertical install. Now, one thing to note, this floodlight camera is designed to be installed in a flush type junction box, which would normally be the ones that you have if you're planning to replace an existing floodlight or light fixture from your home. It will not work with an add-on or screw-on junction box like the one I'm demoing here. Like if I screw in the metal bracket, the mounting bracket that it comes with is not going to be flushed on the box. Also, the bracket doesn't have a gasket for weatherproofing on the back. And this is because on how this is designed. This mounting bracket goes into the base of the floodlight camera, and the base of the floodlight is the one that has the rubber gasket. And this is too big for a standard 4¼ inch round box that I have here. So I just removed the metal bracket and directly screwed in the mounting bracket to the junction box. And just note, this is not weather sealed with this setup. The next thing that you have to know, it only connects to a neutral and hot wire. No ground needed, so I'll cap this green wire. We then have to screw two wires on these terminals, and they are marked N for neutral and L for live or hot wire. You will need a small screwdriver to loosen the screws. And this looks easy, but the thing is, Tapo wants you to push the wiring through this rubber gasket with a small hole, which took me a while to hook up properly. And then you can push in the floodlight to the bracket and screw it in with the two included short machine screws, and you can put in the plastic screw cover. Turn power back on and let's set this up. Open up the Tapo app, click the plus sign, add device, outdoor cameras, and you can choose TC55 or C720, already red and green. Go to your Wi-Fi settings and choose Tapo's Wi-Fi. Go back to the app and wait until it is found. Choose your Wi-Fi network and click next. And wait until it is connected. and setup is complete. You'll be prompted with the cloud service subscription trial, which I'll skip for now. Let's check the settings in the app. When you open up the Tapo app, you will see your Tapo devices but no thumbnails. Click on the floodlight and it loads the live view pretty quick. One cool thing about Tapo is that you can stream up to 4 Tapo cameras at a time. I have the doorbell here and the Color Pro, and you can stream all your Tapo cams but just 4 at a time. Back to live view, you can take a snapshot, record the live view, mute the camera or start two-way talk, and this one is a full duplex voice call. But there is also a mic icon for half duplex push to talk. As to the alarm, and something new to Tapo is that now you have an option to trigger the alarm manually, aside from their regular auto alarm, which the alarm will only go off when there is a person or animals in the camera's field of view. Also, you can edit it, and now you have an option for different alarm tones and adjust the volume. You can also set one specifically for manually triggering the siren. Privacy mode, which turns off the camera. Light to turn on the floodlights manually. We have playback and download for the recorded events, and as you can see, this is from the SD card, and this is where you can watch and download the footage to your phone. Gear icon for the camera settings. We have detection. You can set motion zones for all or for each AI event. This one also has the line crossing detection option, like a tripwire. When someone crosses that line, they will get detected. It also has a camera tampering option where you will get a notification when someone or something blocks the camera's field of view. Floodlight settings. Adjust the brightness and you can have the lights turn on slowly. An auto off timer for when you turn on the lights manually. Auto on settings, and is for the lights to turn on when motion is detected. You have an option for to dial in the PIR sensors, and this will detect and trigger the lights up to 270 degrees around the camera. And you can set the sensitivity, and or you can also use what the camera sees. So the lights will only turn on when the camera sees a person, pet, or vehicles. I like that you can dial in how the floodlight turns on, and you can also set the floodlights in a schedule, like dusk to dawn or in a specific time schedule. Storage and recording is the card status, and you can format it from here. Recording schedule, and this is where you can set the camera to record motion events only or continuously 24/7, or even set times for the camera to not record at all. Video and display, and I'll just show you the video quality setting, 2K, and the frame rate up to 25 FPS. Now time to do some testing. So this is the video and audio quality of the Tapo's floodlight camera, the TC55 or the C720. Video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Right. This is the video quality of the Tapo TC55 or the C720 at night, and this with the full brightness on its floodlight. And this is what looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is the video quality of the Tapo Floodlight Camera TC55 at night. And this, I turned off the floodlights, and it has 4 infrared LEDs. And this one looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. We are going to test the notification speed of the Tapo's floodlight camera, the TC55 or the C720. And I'm on my 5G cellular network, and it is 247. Also, I'm going to do the testing without subscribing to the cloud recording, so there's not going to be any rich notifications on this one. Let's check it out. That quick. So there's no rich notification, but when I click on it, it should open up the live view and loads up pretty quick too. 247. All right, so it just turned 248, and we'll see if there is a notification cool off or it will notify me again. Let's check it out. No cool off, but it's a little bit delay on that one. But yep, loads up pretty quick. Cool. All right, so I've set the sensitivity of person detection only. I turned off motion detection, just person detection only. I've set the sensitivity to the highest. Let's see what is the max distance of it to be able to notify me. Oh yeah. Yep, able to detect me at 40 feet. Cool.
This is the audio quality coming out from the Tapo's floodlight camera, the TC55 or the C720. This is the audio quality coming out from the Tapo's floodlight camera, the TC55 or the C720.
This Tapo TC55 or the C720 floodlight camera performed well in my testing. Pretty responsive like other Tapo cams that I have tested. I like that there are options on how the floodlights behave, like set it on a timer or for it to only turn on when the camera detects people, and not with any other motion or with cars or animals. But Tapo forgot to have a setting for brightness for each option, like having a dual brightness setting. For example, you set the floodlights dusk to dawn in a 15% brightness, and when it detects a person, it will go full 100%. This can be easily added as a firmware update though. Video quality is mediocre for a 2K camera, and I think it uses high compression, and that is why you will see some trailing artifacts with moving objects. Tapo's Color Pro has better video quality. I do, however, like that it has a wide field of view. Lastly, I know some of you already said that the design of this floodlight is something to get accustomed to and might not be your cup of tea. Overall, this can be a good option, especially if you are getting into the TP-Link's Tapo's ecosystem of local recording and no subscription Wi-Fi security cameras. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.